fly out, but it looks like not much is going to come of it. And with the attempt at Jackie's life, they do force a rotation from Q on that Mirana, so he does TP up towards the top lane. And it looks like he is just going to use this time now to try and secure that 4-minute power rune, which is going to spawn up top. It was a DD, but Mac is able to bottle it up on the Mars. Looks like he's going to be able to get away with that. And he's continue dominating this mid lane now. And with a DD rune, there is just no way for Fearless to be able to contest.
Yeah, it's all lining up here for Androit. Really surprised with the movement from MG Trust. Like we talked about, perhaps early chain and arrow combos. He's just not been able to leave bot. His TP up top doesn't amount to much.
Oh, Mackie misses that spear. Had that spear landed, Fearless would have definitely just been dead, but he does get away with his life intact. Mac will not be able to abuse that double damage. Everyone will get away scot-free, and funnily enough, John, we're about to approach the 5-minute mark without a kill, which is very unusual for an SEA matchup.
Definitely is. You're seeing both sides play a lot more safe. I think I'm more surprised by how cautious MG Trust is. This is a lot slower than we'd love to play. They're trying to fight over runes. This might be it.
Boombell's going to get chased down, but so is our Snapfire. Boomy, he's dropping low. Boombell going to make a run, and again the cask will save his life. However, Fearless in the river right now is getting chased down and does get speared by Mac. Does end up being the first blood there, and Mac, he's going to be very happy about that one on the Mars. The nice easy spear right up to the Flight of Fist.
And this is perfect for Mac. He gets to hold on to his first arena use. He might wait till the level 7 mark, make a side lane rotation, start finding those kills. And Androit, it takes a long time for first blood to come in. It goes their way. They're finding the farm in each lane. MCY is finding some good farm versus Masaros. Masaros is just constantly low. Not a very easy lane for him solo. I know.
Yeah, Boombell did not get stunned by that cookie. He does just stand right in the middle of it. Meanwhile, Boomy is going to get chased down, and Q going to go for a cheeky arrow, but does not land it. He just wanted the damage. He will not get away with it. Boomy does walk away scot-free. G-Trust, they'll just have to continue trying to farm up as Q goes for a TP play right in front of Nico. Not sure what the idea there was, but it does not pay off. And he was trying to TP into the mid lane. Because it got cancelled, now Masaros has to take over. Make sure this tier 1 mid tower doesn't take too much damage.
This is just absolutely messy. They don't even arrow the siege creep. Q just doesn't get the angle.
Very unlucky there for Q. Range creep just ran in the way, and now Arena is going to be dropped by Mac with a nice spear round. He may not have enough damage output, or maybe he does. Boomy with the follow-up stun. It helped out, but now Masaros trying to fight back, but Mac is going to be there along with CML. They're going to fight back up against this Tidehunter. Mac, however, falling very, very low, but not low enough. He will get the kill first. He holds up the shield, and he's just going to run. Q, meanwhile, will try to at least kill off Boomy, and does manage to get it, but CML now just going to go straight back after him. It does manage to secure the Mirana kill, as well as that tier 1 mid tower.
Just a lot of objectives now for Androit. They're keeping Fearless down. They've got that mid tier 1. They're even pressuring bot. MCY manages to take that by himself as well. So you're basically finding everything on the map here if you're Androit right now. And MG Trust, they're dropping a bit behind. It's a 3k lead now for Androit. You are still giving Jackie a ton of space, but it does take the Terrorblade a while to get online. This is the big worry. Androit, if they just keep this aggression up, if they do start to, remember that the Terrorblade exists, I think they're going to keep that pace up quite nicely. They just need a couple of forward wards. They've got some good ones down bot to kind of watch that triangle area just a bit, but they haven't really been able to play with him. It's time for, well, not quite time, it's really early, but once they have this blink up on Mac, I think they're going to be ready to keep that hunt on, keep the aggression on, and start to make the game harder for Jackie specifically.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And Mac, I mean, you speak of aggression, John, he's not done. He's TP'd up towards that top lane. Looks like he's going to start setting up to try and make the push onto that tier 1 top tower. He does also have the arena back up, and Fearless needs to be careful. He's 1 level behind, and Mac is watching him now with the arena, but the spear does not come out in time. Fearless, he did have a remnant ready for that situation. He does manage to remnant out, but even with that, they are still going to try and pressure this tier 1 top tower. And in all honesty, John, they should be able to get away with it. I just can't see Motivate Trust being able to defend this.
No, I mean, they're trying to dive through Boomy. They don't even land the Chain Tower combo. They only toss up Boom Bell, but you can't really expect a Witch Doctor to do anything. So objectives once more being found by Androit, and this just really shrinks the map down. You're stuck in a pretty nervous spot, and you're not really doing too much damage to mid.
Fearless is going to remnant away in the mid lane. A close call there as Nico was going for a stun out, but did not get it in time. While that was happening, the top tier 1 did indeed go down, so Mac and CML just taking care of that. Again, there was no chance of a defense to come out from Motivate Trust. Looks like we are going to have a quick pause out now. Looks like Mac just needs a second. In fact, never mind, he's ready to go already. Back to it, but as you can see, a 4K net worth lead right now for the side of Androit. It's probably one of the better starts they've had throughout the whole tournament, I want to say, John. Usually we do see them struggle quite a bit in these earlier stages, but well, this game, they're looking pretty darn good.
They really are. They're working the map well. The rotations are really paying off. MG Trust is struggling to keep pace. Like, the supports are just not making as much space in the map. They are clumping down bot for a tier 1 tower now. But if they get this one, I guess they can start to open up that bot jungle we tend to see Jackie play farming in. So it's going to be important for them to commit, but there's enough time for Androit to respond here.
Well, they've got the meta, they've got the Ravage, and I think that's why they feel confident to try and go for this fight. But Mac is going to TP in with an Invis rune, so he can walk his way in for a very nice arena. There's no sentries that have been placed. The MG Trust have no idea Mac's around. Mac is very cautious, just taking his time, looking for the right opportunity for that arena. He wants to go after Jackie, and he will, but Fearless will be the one to take the spear. Still, Ravage is out, but the kisses are still flying in. Jackie, he's just trying to avoid all the damage, and he does walk away, but now Nico comes in. He gets Boom Bell's Gloria, and that's it so far. They'll try onto Boom Bell. He's getting low. He will be there with the spear. They will manage to at least get the Witch Doctor. And they do successfully defend that tier 1 tower. And with that, Motivate Trust, they will just scatter and get back to farming.
This is not a good spot for MG Trust. Their entire triangle is now covered up. They've got this nice northern ward by the ramp. So Jackie's not entirely safe in this area. He's going to have to find a different farming spot. Even their top jungle, it's warded pretty nicely here, just keeping track. So Androit have done their research. They know the farming patterns MG Trust wants to hit. MG Trust needs to be ready to get some D-wards out, and they need to be ready to fight around the next Ravage. That's going to be key for them. Masaros has been off to a slow start, but they are still strong if their spells land properly, and Androit are just making it really difficult for them to find that opening. They're just now playing in the triangle themselves. They feel safe. They're clearing out these camps that Jackie would like, and their Terrorblades farm, if this keeps happening, it's going to start falling behind in a big way.
Oh, Android have clearly been doing their homework here, John. Doing a great job of slowing down this Terrorblade. Of course, our Troll Warlord being played by MCY right now. I mean, he's basically got the Battle Fury on the way, I believe. So, once that's up, his farm is just set to escalate. There's no rule stopping it. Side of Motivate need to find a way to deal with this. Because now CML is going to spot out Jackie.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's what you want. You just want eyes consistently on Jackie, see what he's up to. CML will even take the big Centaur away. You won't be able to farm that up. Bot lane, there is a bit of a clump up here from Masaros and Boom Bell. They're looking over at that Snapfire, but Boomy, very ready for this, does back off, but here comes Boom Bell now with the cask and has the Melodic Ward. He will not drop the ward yet, but there it is. TP's up from Boomy, but they'll have the damage. You managed to get a nice little support pick off there onto Boomy. And that's about as good as it gets right now for MG Trust. It's really their only option. They just have to take any support kill they can get.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And it's not a big one by any means, and Mac is actually confident enough to come back, and he's got Blink with the arena. He could still defend even by himself. He just needs maybe one here or two to help out. Getting that
they come. TP is coming in. They'll go after Masaros, but Jackie will pop the meta. He'll go for a fight. Mac, he may been a bit too excited
Is under attack.
and went a bit too early. Now CML gonna try and make a run for it. However, they realize Nico is in the back lines. He wanted to go after Massaros, but he cannot do it by himself. So Jackie now gonna turn around with Boombell. They're having a look for this slippery fish. They'll turn back around onto Jackie, but misses the stun. And now the Ravage comes out. Massaros will not play any games with Nico. They do get another kill. In fact, CML also went down to Q. And they do finally get that T1 tower. And John, these are the kind of things that Androit do not want to be doing. You can't make these mistakes up against a team like Motivate Trust, because they will take every advantage they can get.
Yeah, I mean, this has stalled out long enough for MCY to finish up that Battle Fury, but look at the map control back here for MG Trust. They take out the top, that bot tier 1, and now Jackie's got a jungle to play in. There are no wards here from Androit. They've been playing around top instead. And we've seen Jackie, again, in this situation multiple times in groups. He's just going to play in this bot in jungle. Androit needs to understand that. So we saw their first step in keeping that dire jungle out. Now they need to keep a track on their own jungle. And if they can get that done, then they've still got a shot at shutting down Jackie and overtaking with their troll. But we have seen teams slip up there. So it's time to really put that research to the test here for Androit. You should understand that their bot jungle is going to be a big hotspot now.
There's a nice smoke up here from Androit. However, the smoke going to be broken on that neutral creep that was controlled by CML. Arrow will take it, and Boombell looks like he will be the one to tank the gank here for the team. Jackie sees it, doesn't even back off from the triangle. He's just still farming the Ancients. Meanwhile, Fearless keeping eyes on MCY. They are pinging him out. They want to try and go after this Troll Warlord. Fearless, continue chasing, just kiting out. Q's going to come in, but you don't have anything like the Yules to set up, so Arrow will only be for scouting purposes, but they should have seen Mac T being in on the Mars. Fearless, he'll stick around. Nice juke on Spear, but he's remnanted back into the team fight. Moonlight Shadow is going to be procced. They will just run. Maybe a little bit of an error there from Fearless with the remnant back in, but it won't matter. He does not die.
Yeah, a bit awkward. You still, I guess, buy some time, and at least you somehow know where Fearless is. So you've got information in the map here. You're still buying time for Jackie to farm. There's got to be a little bit of room of recovery here, though, for Fearless. He's still saving up for his own Yules, but he's just going to keep playing tag.
Well, it's been chained. Arrow does not land from Q. MCY. He pops the battle trance, will rush onto Q, but here comes Boombell. They do have the death ward. They commit with the Ravage as well, just in case.
They should have
no games to be had here from MG Trust, and this is one of the rare games, John, where you see Massaros. He's not holding on to the Ravage. He'll throw it out every time.
Regeneration.
And that's one of the strengths of Massaros as a player. He reads the situation, he adapts. Even his itemization always changes in the tide. Like this time around, he's opting for that Vlad's that we do see on occasion, and it's paying off. They've got sustain in these fights. I have to say MCY, a bit too aggressive there. He already dodged the arrow anyway, still opts to pop the battle trance, playing a bit greedy. You have to respect that control in the jungle. You don't have the outpost here. You don't have wards anymore in that top jungle. In fact, no wards here at all for Androit right now, besides one laning ward down bot, which is not really useful anymore. MG Trust has really good wards watching that bot jungle. They've got a sentry up top, at least, to keep themselves safe, and they've got sentries in the triangle. So they've kind of opened up the map again for Jackie. Despite being severely behind in these towers, their jungle is safe again. And Androit, their lead has dropped to 2k. Like, you're farming great on your troll, but Jackie has pulled ahead, and that is a worrying sign.
Yeah, I mean, with the mantras, he's going to be able to farm a bit faster on this TB. I think Androit don't really have the space to slow down here, so they are going to go after the Roshan. They've got to keep taking objectives. The question is, do MC or MG Trust know what's going on? This Roshan, it is going to drop very fast. They don't have much time. They have the wards out. They definitely have vision.
Where are you going?
Do they want to fight this? Q, his smoke will be broken. He'll go for a clumsy net onto the slanter, but again missing the arrow. Very different here for Q, just missing these arrows constantly this game. Still, Roshan, half HP, Androit, they'd love to go back in. The thing is, John, the longer they wait, the more likelihood there is going to be that the Ravage is going to be off cooldown. And, well, right now, it's only 18 seconds away. So you are going to be fighting into a Ravage the next Roshan you go for. I think that might make it so Androit think better of going after that Roshan again.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Androit. They didn't check for wards first, so that Roche ward just straight out spotted them. Of course, you've got illusion spam coming out from Jackie's illusions now. They might be lining up though. They see Masteros alone, but he's really tanky. He's already got his own Hood of Defiance. He's going to be able to ride through that magical burst and sustained magic damage from Androit. I think they need a blink up here on Nico. Like, he's rushing to BKB, but I think the blink arena is not enough. You do need a follow-up Slytherin crush if you want to hold someone out. They do have the ads.
They do, and Masteros is going to get a read and find the Roshan pit. He's holding on to the Ravage and now does throw it out up to 5 heroes with a Death Ward out. That is going to be Matt probably dying to the melodic damage. Now Fearless also comes in. It'll be a 1-for-1 so far while Masteros does still survive. Mortimer's Kisses do come out on MCY. He popped the battle trance. After Jackie he goes, but Jackie will fight back and does get the kill. One arrow. It won't be there onto Nico, but they still want to keep going here. Fearless, he has another chains in just a second. A nice stun out, but it's going to be a clean up here. MG Trust just surrounding Boomy. He's trying to run, but Jackie has the damage, and Fearless will get the last one in CML. And that is going to be a full team wipe for the price of 2. Only the Witch Doctor and the Masteros Tide dying. And on top of that, John, Jackie, he's going to go after the Roshan.
Yeah, and it's just awkward with these team fights for Androit. Like, that was the Ags reveal of Boomy. That was the gobble up play. Doesn't quite line up. And it's this Spirit Vessel from Q really causing a ton of issues for our troll. At this point, MCY doesn't have a Manta, doesn't have a BKB. So the Spirit Vessel from Q is actually just completely ruining that ult. He is just not regening in the middle of it. And the Roche falls. MG Trust turned it around. They've got the kill lead. They've got a slight network lead as well. And it's that small mistake that Androit did. They left the jungle alone. They left Jackie alone. And now you have issues. The net worth of Jackie, 12.7. A full 2k ahead of your troll with a Battle Fury. You expect MCY to be better off, but Jackie just works like magic on the map.
He does, and he's got a BKB up now. So that Mars Arena Spear, not really going to matter to him anymore. The Mortimer's Kisses, which has been quite scary for Jackie, not going to matter anymore. You look at MCY, he is working towards his own BKB, which he's definitely going to need to try and get through the Ravage and the arrows and the paralyzing cast. But even then, you've got this right-clicking Terrorblade who doesn't care about your BKB. And so I do still get a bit concerned here for our troll and whether he's going to be able to carry later on as Fearless for a bit of a Yule Scepter on himself. I'm not sure why, but I guess he was predicting something was coming.
Radiant's middle tower.
Looks like Q might actually run into Nico here. Arrow, not gonna land. Nico, nice little sidestep away, but you can see the confidence now on the Dire's side. They're very confident in going into the opposing jungle and not really being afraid of taking another fight.
No, I mean, they've got Ravage back up on Masteros. They're feeling strong. They've managed to bounce back on their course. They know they're keeping MCY down. They know they've gotten space out here for Jackie. Android's doing the right thing, though. They were trying to pressure that top tier 2, trying to melt the tower with MCY, but
Fearless.
they might get caught out.
Yeah, he's caught Boomy. Go for the Yules. Nice arrow that time around from Q. Perfectly timed, and that'll be Boomy going down. A nice little pickup, and I mean, while that was happening, the tier 2 top tower was being forced in. But Jackie does TP in, along with Masteros, and they do defend. Nico will do the exact same thing down at the bot lane, but Fearless is hanging around there with Boombell, and they know the Slatter's around. Nico, got to be careful not to pop out here as Fearless does show himself. Arrow is not going to land, but they do get vision. They don't necessarily want to dive this tier 2 tower without a creep wave, but maybe now they go. They'll spot him out. The side of Fizz, but Nico, being quite aggressive with his own positioning, is going to clear the way. Q's still going to go in, but the Yule Scepter going to really avoid a lot of that Starfall damage, but now the arrow still protected by the Glimmer, and Arena is going to be dropped. They do get Boombill. Poor old Q is blocked in by a creep wave. He's going to try and leap away. intercept as the snapfire does come in, but Mazros is there with the Metamorphosis Jackie. They still do kill off Q.
Radiant's bottom
So still a
tower
nice
has
little
fallen.
play out from Androit, but they have no choice but to lose their tier 2 tower. At least they do force out the meta from Jackie, and they should know that that'll mean Motivate do not want to fight for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's an awkward fight from both sides.
Radiant's
that will allow
middle
Jackie
tower
to clear
is
out
under
this
attack.
mid-tier one as well, though. And that's going to be a big
Radiant's
set of
middle
objectives,
tower
though.
has fallen.
That opens up the bot jungle completely. They've got a ton of room to play in now, and Androit, they don't have their team fight spell, so a little bit more caution's advised. They do have kisses, but not gobble up without arena. It's just harder to fight in, so both sides might not be keen to fight. I think MG Trust is still happy that they have Ravage, though, and that does give them some options to engage. And speaking of that, Master is tied. He is rushing a halberd, so once you've got that up, you've got more issues down the line here for MCY. It's just not quite lining up these power spikes on our troll.
No, it is not. So, I mean, the BKB is going to be there, but assuming he does get the halberd before the BKB's popped on MCY, it's not really going to matter. So, we'll see what Androit do to try and figure this one out, as they have really started to fall behind. In terms of net worth, it doesn't look that bad, but you know this is the way Motivate play. They put all their
Radiant's
eggs in the
bottom
Jackie
tower is
basket.
under attack.
They trust Jackie to just carry them at the later stages of the game, and you see his net worth, John. It's going crazy again. So, Android, I do believe they're the ones with the pressure to try and make a play. They can't really sit back and farm too much. They're not going to win the farm game this game.
It's so strange to say that as well, right? Like, you've got Battle Fury Troll. On paper, you should be going a bit faster, but MCY's been
Jackie's almost
caught
got
out.
Hive Scardy, John. I mean, that Battle Trance lifesteal is going to mean nothing once that Hive Scardy's up.
Yeah, I mean, it's already hard for him to sustain with just the Spirit Vessel up. With that Scotty on top of it, it's just not going to do anything. And that's going to really put a big question on Android's head.
Bot lane, they've caught Fearless out, but they don't have the control. It's just not long enough of a stun to really kill off this Ember. Fearless even going to the Shiver's Guard, so you're going to have even more of that healing reduced from the side of Android. Back top lane, Q going to run into CML, does go for the Yules, but nice little block there from his creep. Still Fearless going to come in with the chains out now. He does glimmer, he does pop the wisps, but Dust is going to be there with a clumsy net. There goes threatening, but nice stun dodge out from Fearless with the remnants, and now the BKB's popped. Chains out again. They're going to just try and run away from Jackie. He is hitting very, very hard. Now Masros just popping up out of nowhere. But the starter is going to be fine. Nico does run and does get away.
Radiant's
It's going to be another Metamorphosis, not really being used for much, but they will get the top tier 1 tower. It's not all bad news here for MG Trust, nor is it for Android.
I think you're hurting a bit more on Android, though. Those were 10-second BKB charges for
Radiant's top
everyone,
tower has
but it's
fallen.
much more important for Android to hold on to those long charges. So they lose their first charge, they still have their 9-second charges, but it's not a good feeling for Android. They know they're behind, they pop their BKBs, nothing happens from it, and they still have a Ravage to contend with here.
Oh, MCY don't want to die like this. Arrow's going to come out with the Melodic, but Arena is going to be dropped. It's nice from Mac, but he misses the spear. Battle Trance is going to be out onto Fearless, but he just Yules and Remnants away, and they aren't going to be able to get anything but Boom Bell. Witch Doctor will die again, but now the Battle Trance is just down. They might be willing to continue fighting here, MG Trust, as they do have the Ravage. The only thing they are lacking right now is the meta, but they may not need it if they do get a big Ravage off. Kicking off Fearless, he's going to jump straight onto the Snapfire now with the chains out. Masteros chasing, won't go for that ulti yet. Back onto CML, they'll kill off the Enchantress. And Nico, he's going to go for a run, but the chains are going to be out, and another BKB is going to be used. Nico, though, still tying to Jackie. Just the damage up from his Terrorblade right now is way too high. A great gobble up play, though, but there's your Ravage coming out. Still MCY, he got the BKB off in time, and Jackie is trying to fight without the Metamorphosis. Onto Mac, he'll try to take down the Mars, but Masros is dropping very low on that tide and is set to fall, and Jackie, he does not want to waste any more time here. He will run as a droid. They are starting to clean up. They've picked up 2 cores so far. Q is also going to be hunted down by Nico, but clumsy net. Q may have overstayed his welcome and does. And misses another arrow on the Mirana.
It's such a back and forth match. This time MG Trust overextending, chasing way too deep for a Slardar, and they get punished well. So Androit even out the kill board. They do sort of swing the net for it, slightly back their way. It's still a 1k lead for MG Trust, but never swung too far anyway. The key thing right now is that they've got this Desolator in back. So they've got additional burst damage coming out. They've got really good physical reduction now with that Desolator, and with level 2 Corrosive Haze should allow them to rip through some of these cores that still aren't quite tanky. Like the Plate Mail does help out Fearless a bit, but it's not quite enough just yet. You don't have anything else to mitigate physical damage. So there's a huge window now for Androit. They can start playing a bit more aggressive. They've got Arena. They do not have Kisses, but Gobble Up will be up in a bit, and that's going to be their go signal. Now, next Roche is a bit quick. It's just about 20 seconds off. That's going to be the big one both sides are going to set their eyes on that one.
John, have a look at this itemization from MCY for a second. He's going for a Satanic Builder. It seems to be maybe somewhat useless here when you look at the Eye of Skadi and Shiva's Guard coming out. But never mind that, because the team fight has started. Boombill is going to die straight off the bat. Onto the Slardar, but Nico will avoid the arrow. The cookie out from Boomy. Boombill is dead again. Both teams are aware that the Roshan is available.
Radiant's middle tower.
They're going to make the play. Matt going to jump in for another nice spear, and that's going to be Fearless dying now. That's a big pick-off here for Androit as they rush for Masseros. Masseros will be alright to walk out. They are not going to want to fight without Fearless, and they did just commit the buyback there onto Boombill. And with that, Nico, he wants to get started on that Roshan ASAP. Look, do you fight this one? Arrow, Matt is going to get hit by it, but they don't want to focus on him yet. Gobble Up, Give Vision does land onto Masseros, but they already know they're there. Matt gonna miss the spear. Masseros rushing in. MCY getting bashed by the Roshan, but now the Ravage gonna hit on 3 heroes and Jackie trying to get started. We'll go onto MCY, back onto Matt. They'll get the Mars. Now aiming down Boomy, but Matt, he's brought back on the Mars, and Boomy is gonna be able to force Staff away. Gonna make full use of this Metamorphosis. Q is still going. Arrow and Starfall is out, but it's not gonna be enough to kill off Boomy. Spiderlings to run away, and here comes Masseros once again. Onto Nico, reflection out from Jackie, but the Gobble Up play is going to mean he does get to run away. Now MCY going to try and man fight Jackie with that BKB up. He still has the Battle Trance. Not popped it yet. Fearless has respawned now on the Ember. For Matt, does get a chains off onto CML. CML, Glimmer Cape is going to allow him to just run out. Now Jackie, he has no meta. They might want to turn this one around. Mac blink up in a couple seconds, but Yules has fought out Nico. They have the Slardar in control, but Nico is going to BKB and run. Meanwhile, on the backside, they've caught Masseros on that tide. He's still going to try and run away, but CML is able to get the kill on now. A massive Gobble Up play, landing on 3 heroes with the God's Rebuke out for Mac. They just fell. Fearless, can he get out? Forced to BKB. Matt, he wants to keep going. A nice arena there with the Mortimer's Kisses all onto Jackie. He wanted to Sunder, but he could not get it off in time. Androit cleaning up 3 heroes, all of which have no buyback. And they are back into that Roshan pit.
Just a big win for Androit. MG Trust, lots of mistakes coming out there, not quite the execution we were looking for. They're struggling to get into a good spot in these fights. They can't have Masseros in the center. When he gets a Ravage off, they're too far to follow up. The Satanic gets finished up here for MCY. So I think it's the stat resist he's going for in this case, really. He's got the option to go SNY with his Yasha afterwards as well, but he is rushing the MKB first to counteract the eventual butterfly here from Jackie, and that's the much more forward play, but he's going to start stacking that stat resist soon, which is going to make it harder to chain off these halberds. Masseros does have his halberd, but his courier died on the way, and you're starting to see issues here. It's Jackie's still doing fine work, but they did sacrifice all of their cores, and in this game, it's showing. It's just so hard for Fearless to have that impact. It's hard for Masaros to just stand there and just really tank up. He's just not that durable yet. And with 5k lead back to Androit, they're back in driver's seat. It was messy. It took a really long team fight there, but it does work out in the end. And Androit now, I think they're starting to feel confident in their troll. MCY's hitting that point where you do bounce back with a couple of items up, and MG Trust need to wait for a little bit more from Jackie, and they start to get really constrained by Metamorphosis. So that's going to be the back and forth here. MG Trust need to play with Ravage and Meta, whereas Androit, they don't really have anything to wait for. Arena's a short cooldown. Kisses isn't too long. Gobble Up is also fairly short for what it does. So they've always got some opportunities to be aggressive, and MG Trust don't.
A tough position. Still a very close game, and all props to Androit, John. They've been looking great in this first game. We love to see it. I love the fact that Mac on the Mars is going straight into that Aghanim Scepter, and you saw earlier on how much that contribution did. The damage output is insane, and having that on a very low cooldown is going to be that much better. But they will move on to that bottom tier 2 tower now. Androit gets started on that.
Radiant's top tower.
The rest of Motivate Trust is just kind of roaming the map on the other side.
Dire's bottom tower.
Tier 2 bottom does go down. Looks like MG Trust, they're going to try and trade with the top tier 2 tower. See a nice double damage rune
Radiant's
down to that bot rune spot, and oh, MCY, he's going to enjoy that.
Are fortified.
That God's Rebuke damage just got that much higher.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Land on
attack.
anyone.
Radiant's top tower.
They do deny off that tier 2 tower as well, so Androit getting rid of the bonus gold that Motivate Trust desperately wanted. Looks like they are more than happy to go for a fight with this DD, with this Aegis. Nothing really holding them back here for Androit. They are still going to take the time to farm up, so even though they seem to have a pretty big advantage, they are in no rush. As I say that though, Nico mid lane is going to play around with Q, and Q couldn't really find an angle to get an arrow off.
Gotcha.
They both are just going to get away from each other. Gobble Up. He's there. Nico does get thrown straight onto Boombell. Poor Boombell. There's no way out of that one. Now, QTB illusions come in. Not too big of a deal.
It's starting to get painful. Again, it's the fact that a droid can keep fighting without these cooldowns, just constantly going back in, finding opportunities.
Being chased by MCY a bit, but now Nico's caught him out. Another Remnant is there with the Yules out, and Fearless is just going to try and run, but Nico looks like he was thinking about a chase. Does not go for it in the end. Maybe he does. He's still showing up. Thermi is going to be there. Gobble Up is out onto Fearless. They've got the Ember again. Arrow, however, is there on CML, but neither team really committing.
Where are you going?
Pick up the gem and just run for it. Mac wasn't really with his team at the time either, which made it a bit harder because it did seem like they were looking for a big arena there from Mac. Speaking of that arena, John, with an Arcane Rune, he's going to have a very low cooldown arena.
It's what you love to see here for the Mars. Again, enabling that non-stop aggression for a droid. The situation's pretty bad for MG Trust, so bad that Jackie's queuing up the Divine. So he's had enough.
Love it.
He just wants to be able to hit stuff, and this is the bouncing point now. You have the Butterfly up, but you also just finish up the MKB and MCY. So any durability you were looking for isn't there. A lot hanging here in the initiation of MG Trust now.
Well, they're going to go up that tier 2 mid. Another arrow going to be juked by MCY. That'll be the final outer objective to take for Androit, apart from that X-Roshan. Aghanim Scepter is available on Mac, so that God's Rebuke cooldown is extremely low, but Fearless is going to push out the bot lane.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Try some map pressure. We see this quite a lot from MG Trust. Trying to force back the side of Androit, and they successfully do for a bit.
Mike, I'm having a bit of a giggle. You want to know why? You want to look at Jackie? Take a look at what he has on as his neutral item.
Oh, I thought that was a very low tier item, John. I was watching the tier list yesterday. I thought carries didn't like this item.
Hey.
No, we're gonna have some words with that panel, John. They need to understand. They can't do the Aquila like that.
It's the fellowship of the Aquila, you know? It is what it is today, and Jackie's just playing along with it. Still a slow-paced game for MG Trust. They are playing from behind. Androit have this pretty good, sizable advantage, although.
Be mid lane, looks like they aren't going to commit onto Masteros, and he's a tanky boy. It's fair enough. They don't want to start with him. Fearless going to spot out a DD rune. Jackie's not going to go back for it yet. Maybe he will. Fearless is still just... Yeah, he drops the bottle as well, so Jackie will be able to hold on to it for a bit. Except he didn't bottle it up, which is... Whoops.
Yeah. Probably just want to go now then. Gonna have to find as much as possible, but again, Arena's up, Kisses are up, Gobble Up's ready. So it's always a bit of a risk here for MG Trust, but it looks like Androit might be giving them some space. They're playing it cautious, not showing because MG Trust is being patient here.
I think Matt really wants to go with the Aghanim Scepter. I mean, 3.5 second cooldown on God's Rebuke, and he's basically dealing almost a K to everyone in that AoE. 850 damage, pretty darn good. They are going to smoke up now, so they do want to try and make a play. In fact, they even have a sight device up on Boomy. It's a pretty big item to have on your pause for him. Nico does jump in, a big stun out. Masteros, however, going to get speared with the Kraken Shell. We'll save the day for him. He can't find a good Ravage, so he will just die with it. And everyone else is motivated. They're going to try and fight back anyway. Nico will be targeted, but he eats the cheese and will survive. Fearless now coming in, looking for a chainsaw. Does kill off Nico onto MCY. He still has the battle trance and a great steer out for Mac. Going to lock him down with the God's Rebuke. Sends him up to the high ground. Still the sight device is going to be there. They do get Jackie. And Androit continue to dominate the team fights. It just seems like they have so much control with their draft.
Perfect.
Try to take the outpost back in time. Nice little arrow there from Almirana, and that's actually going to make it so Mac can't take it in time. So he just leaves it.
Yeah, just a nice cheeky play from Q, landing the arrow when he needed it to, but they're losing all the map objectives. Bounty's not going their way. They get to at least salvage out some EXP, but it's just getting really bad for MG Trust. They rely so much on Masteros, and you know we've been saying this for at least 10 to 15 minutes now, but the Ravage is really what they're relying on. They just have no other tool to really take control in these fights. Cask is nice, but not nice enough. And now Androit with those kills. With their cooldowns back up soon, they're just gonna go straight for high ground.
Nice arrow out, but you see Mac already jumping in, pops his own BKB. Those BKB charges are starting to get very low here for Androit, but with the 13k net worth lead, I don't think they mind too much. They'll go back to farming a bit. No harm in that. They have the whole map to themselves, and they'll smoke up again straight away. You don't have the Metamorphosis for another 40 seconds, so Jackie has to be very wary of that. They ping him out. They want to jump the TB. I'm sad to say as well, Jackie has given up on the Divine Rapier, John. He's going for the Satanic build-up. It's very upsetting indeed.
Yeah, it's not very dank, but he actually switches again. It's just straight dataless, so he still wants damage. Not gonna have status resist. Control onto Jackie's been the biggest issue. He just kind of gets stunned up. He's only had one Sunder, and that was when they weren't in a fight. So we need to see Jackie just use his spells. We haven't seen a Ravage from Masteros in a couple of fights. Now he's just never in the right spot. And unfortunate for MG Trust, yeah, the Roche is up, and you don't have control here from MG Trust, but they don't take it on Androit.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
T2 tower actually going to go down to the TB illusion. They did not get the deny off in time. Still, you see those crits out from Mac with the God's Rebuke. It's just so much damage. But a big smoke up. G Trust going to start moving in slowly but surely. Full Daedalus is there for Jackie now, so even more damage.
But no buyback.
No buyback. going to be problematic if they do lose this one. Gobble up. The vision of Masaros and Roshan has been taken. Refresher shard on Mac. Aegis is there on MCY. And if you're Motivate now, you really don't want to fight into this lineup. Not with that Aegis, not with that Refresher shard, not with that cheese.
Radiant's bottom tower is
But
under
for a
attack.
droid, I'd imagine you just start running down mid.
Yeah, they've got the confidence now. MG Trust might still be looking for a snipe. They might
MCY.
find one.
The Aegis though, MCY, he's feeling confident, but he doesn't want to throw it away, so they'll go back towards their own high ground. Or they just hold on to that.
Oh, the droid. They've smoked up now.
You know, they have such an
Radiant's
advantage.
bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they're coming right from the backside as well. This is great play, but MCY is going to have his smoke broken, but MG Trust, I don't believe they know about this. Masaros, he does seem to as he jumps in, but the arena has been dropped. Jackie, he'll bomb the BKB and try to fight Mac. The Death Ward is there as well, but Mac is taking no damage. So Jackie just wants to run away with that mid cohort he has left, and looks like the Illusions will take the brunt of the battle trance. Masaros, he still has the Ravage. He's been very patient with this. They'll turn back around onto Nico. And Nico might be the first one to fall here, in fact the second. They lost Boomy already on the Snapfire. MCY, he'll go for a creep skip.
Radiant's bottom tower
But MG
is
Trust, they're
under
going to go
attack.
high ground, even through the backdoor protection. It is a Terrorblade after all. Backdoor protection just doesn't seem to matter sometimes with this hero. Fortification definitely does.
It's gonna stall them out, and Metamorphosis has just faded, so Jackie's not gonna be as strong as he once felt. They're gonna have to relax a bit, but Androit, they still have Arena. They could go for it some more.
Jump in again, Jackie. No, Masaros, he's going to take the speed by blinking forward. Now the Arena and the Ravage jump back. He is very low and will die.
Illusion.
Buyback was also committed there by Nico. That is unfortunate. Nico
I'll take that.
is not going to be happy about that one.
It doesn't lead to anything for him in the buyback. They still hold the cheese, but I believe the refresh was popped by Mac there as well, so they don't have an instant second arena to come out here, and MG Trust must be confident. They only have to worry about the Aegis.
Yeah, Fearless, he's just going to rush forward now, hoping for a buyback out of Mac perhaps. But BKB will be committed. Down to a 5-second charge. Gobble up, meanwhile, onto MCY. Not going to connect on Q, but they have the side for buy side on that Mirana. Still Yule's up on the Troll. He's going to try and continue onto Q, it seems like, or maybe even Jackie. But no, he's going to back off. Back to that high ground. Mortimer's Kisses are going to fly in. The chains out with the Illusions. MCY dropping very low. Masaros even jumping in for a quick gush out. Just not going to be enough. MCY, he is going to survive. Chains out now, back onto Slaughter. He eats his cheese, but he is just stuck there. And that's going to be a dieback out for Nico. Now Masaros jumps in with the Havoc Hammer. Just hits Boomy on the side of the head with it. And that tier 3 tower's down. Motivate Trust. They were 16k net worth behind, and all of a sudden, now they might even find the Aegis. MCY. It's chained up and could not get away from it. Arrow connects perfectly as well. MCY, he cannot afford to die like this. He'll get the battle trance off, but he's going to run straight into the match. He's brought back with the Arena, trying to hellcard his carry. MCY still alive, trying to fight back with Jackie. He's got so much damage and so much slow. He just goes after Mars, gets the dieback. Now onto Boomy, also going down to the Snapfire. And apparently net worth leads mean nothing, John. They mean nothing.
It's just MG Trust. The patience
Radiant's
pays
middle
off.
tower is under attack.
Jackie's
Radiant's
positioning,
middle
Jackie's
has fallen.
perfect aggression and his spacing just nets them that. And Android again, they slip up a bit. You give them a mile here.
Oh, again, Boomy, he just fought back. He cannot afford to die. Arrow is going to fly in onto CML. Now the cast bouncing perfectly onto both of them. The Death Ward's out. CML's going to drop. Boomy is just stuck in a tree line. A Ravage there, MCY. He's called the GG. He does not
Radiant's ancient
be able to
has
come back from
fallen.
this, and I agree with him, John, as the Ancient has fallen.
Oh man, what a game one performance from MG Trust. Like, it looked rough. You know, we talked about Androit hitting their timings there. We talked about Androit locking in that jungle early on, keeping Jackie's farm in check. They